Hello Leo, Leo Rising and Leo Moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card horoscope for the week starting April 24th, 2017. And a quick reminder for you guys, remember this also applies to those of you, again, who are Leo Rising and Leo Moons. A lot of people, if you were here a couple weeks ago, you know I put a video on why that is relevant, and you can find it on the main channel page under the Astrology videos playlist. I've also got a special video on the Venus shadow period, what's going to be going on over the next few weeks as Venus starts to go full-on direct back into, the correct course. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com. So what is going on with your astrology this week, Leo? Well, this week, in the very beginning of the week, we've got Mercury retrograding all the way back into Aries, into your 9th house of travel, higher education, government and legal proceedings, broadcasting, as well as any kind of big expansive outreach that you've been doing, whether it's for career or for personal pleasure. And it's going to be forming a gorgeous angle to Saturn, currently retrograde in your 5th house of love, romance, and the relationships you have with your children. And interestingly enough, when you have two retrogrades, 9 out of 10 times, it's always better. It's like two wrongs make a right a little bit. And this might be a situation you've got to pay attention to. Some people hear the word retrograde and they forget that it can be good. And this is what's going to work out for you. When Mercury retrograde in the 9th house connects to Saturn retrograde in the 5th house, we are going to basically be taking a moment to break some rules that need to be broken when it comes to the way we are handling a situation with maybe a lover or with our children. We may have been trying to do things too by the books according to some kind of tradition, whether it's a cultural tradition, a family tradition, either for your sake or for your partner's sake, but we may also be noticing that it's not doing anyone any good. And we may actually clear the air about this and the way we're handling each other and raising our children in a way that works better for us. This may not necessarily come without its share of weird side-eye looks from friends and relatives who don't necessarily understand why you're doing it your own way. But it is your relationship, none of y'all are sleeping with other people, and it is your kid. So maybe breaking a rule that's meant to be broken is about setting a good example for people who are still blindly following tradition for the sake of tradition. Later on in the week, we've got a new moon in Taurus in your 10th house of career, and it's going to be lighting up an opportunity for you to promote yourself over the next few weeks. There may be a chance to give yourself a raise, even through these efforts. It may culminate as such, actually, within the next couple of weeks. A new moon in your career sector could indicate a new opportunity for you to maybe even add a new dimension or a new aspect to your job, which could be incredibly lucrative. Even though it may not seem like people are very interested in it right now, or you're known for something completely different, now is the time to promote it. So what's going on with your cards then? Well, for your spiritual advice, we do have the card of Isa, or Ice. And this is talking about a need to start putting things on hold that clearly are not developing, and possibly even taking them off the table. There will be a need for some delicacy here, though. Remember, again, people can be very sensitive about certain topics, even things that, they only do because they think it's compulsory. And maybe it's not necessarily even good for them, but they do it anyway. It's something they hold near and dear to their hearts. This is especially true when it comes to things like religion, like family tradition, like politics. And, people sometimes don't explore them to the depth that they want, but they have affection for them because it reminds them of home. And the Isa card is talking about a need to pay attention to where sometimes those unconscious, compulsory kind of behaviors or feelings are doing more harm than good in our lives on a regular basis. And it may be time to consider delicately, but assertively, releasing them, or at least trying life without them to see if it's better or not. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we do have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. This card's interesting here because, again, it's saying it's not time to trust the chance. Sometimes the Wheel of Fortune reversed, a lot of people get kind of scared because they feel like it says what goes up must come down, but that's absolutely not the truth. The Wheel of Fortune reversed is basically giving a cue to say, hey, Leo, it's not a time to surrender. Some people make a bad habit of surrendering 24/7. The Wheel of Fortune reversed is saying you're being put in the driver's seat, and there may be an opportunity this week for you to be put on the spot by a boss or prospective employer to custom make or custom design your work, your job, or your income henceforth. And what you want to make sure of with the Wheel of Fortune reversed is that you don't pass this opportunity up to be put on the spot, because when you're on the spot, you're really on stage. The Wheel of Fortune reversed can also indicate a period here for you where you are going to notice, again, there is a do or die kind of moment, put up or shut up kind of moment that, again, allows you to promote or even, push a little bit more of yourself in the work that you do. Don't pass it up, because you may actually be, again, custom designing a way to promote yourself, like we saw with the astrology. For your communications with air, when it comes to your friends, your relatives, the others in your life, we do have the Lover's card, reversed. Maybe some disturbing news coming your way when you find out that two friends or two relatives are not necessarily as loyal or as tight as we thought. Somebody may be confiding in you that, you know what, we all thought we were like this big tight crew, or this big tight clique, and it turns out these two guys, these two gals, really don't like each other very much. And the Lover's card reverse can challenge, again, our identification with those people. How do we go on staying close to these two when the whole idea sometimes is all of us being close as a collective? The Lover's card reverse can also indicate a need for you to consider breaking off a commitment that you have made that you know you're probably not going to be able to make good on. Whether it's with a friend or a relative that you made this promise to ages ago, we might need to reconsider how do we find a way to take ourselves off that person's expectations list this week. We may have been mulling it over for a while, we might as well just get it over with and move on this week. Not get over the friendship or the relationship, but just get past the issue. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the King of Wands reversed. And the King of Wands reversed as a challenge, Leo, has a lot to do with making sure that you do not allow yourself to become a victim of hype. Alright, when we talk about the King of Wands reversed, it's a lot of hype that comes around, from things being flashy, maybe some subjective validation going on, everything feeling personal when it's really not. It can kind of talk about being tricked into thinking something resonates with you when it really doesn't resonate with you. And this could be coming all from one person. This King of Wands reversed, a fire sign, so a Leo like yourself, an Aries or a Sagittarius, and a need to be able to scrutinize these things a little bit better so we don't, get taken for a fool by this person. The King of Wands reversed, however, if it's not a person, can indicate, again, a need for you, Leo, the fire sign in the situation, to be more upfront when it comes to things that you don't want to participate in or things that you don't want to be a part in. It's better to actually vocalize that prior than to flake out at the last minute because we were afraid of being impolite by saying no in the first place. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we do have the Ace of Pentacles upright. Now it's time to start thinking about setting things in stone when it comes to your love life. And you and a crush may actually be putting that topic of becoming official on the table. In fact, some of you who are even currently coupled may even find a way to set a new plan in stone, whether it's a move, having a child, or possibly even getting some news about a financial breakthrough that a partner is having that is starting to benefit both of you or expedite a plan that you've been waiting to save some money for in the first place. For those of you who are single and looking, however, the Ace of Pentacles upright says we do definitely have some options this week, but it's important to understand that it takes a while to set things in stone. So the slower we go, the longer it will last. Be careful not to stampede or let anyone else stampede in this situation. So that is your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.